Cherished viewers, welcome to today's Animal World, Our Co-Inhabitants, featuring photographer Bryant Austin of the United States, who has produced the world's first life-size photographs of whales. From World Ocean Day, June 8th to September 8th, 2010, his collection of whale photos is on exhibit in Lofoten, Norway. Mr. Austin hopes that his close-up images will help change people's perceptions about these ocean giants, particularly in whaling nations, and eventually lead to a total ban on whaling activities around the world. Director Kate Miller has produced a documentary entitled A Short Film, In the Eye of the Whale, about Bryant Austin's laudable project.
I've been an artist most of my life, engaged in many mediums, but photography captures a reality that's beyond our imagination. You know, what nature creates for the hundreds of millions of years on this planet. So much of that is beyond our imagination, and the camera can just document that without this filter getting in the way. And I think it's more wondrous than our own imagination, so photography helps with that.
My current project is the production of life-size, high-resolution photographs of whales to be exhibited in whaling nations. The way I work with them is about 5 feet away from them, and it's all on their terms, and those are very rare encounters and circumstances that take months and months to achieve.
With the whales, I snorkel, and it's mostly at the surface. It's only those rare times when I come across a whale with exceptional behavior that I can dive down. When I find a friendly or an inquisitive, accepting whale, that's when you can enter that third dimension of depth and engage them. I've only done it twice, and it's incredible. You start to feel, once you lose the surface of the ocean and enter that third dimension of depth, you really feel like you're in space and you're floating with this 50-ton animal rolling around looking at you. It's just really incredible. It's sort of a dance in 3 dimensions.
In all his trips to the ocean, Bryant Austin is accompanied by his field assistant, Diana Hay, who will now share her thoughts on the wonderful whales.
Encountering whales is very, very special. One of the things I couldn't get over the whole time is just how big they are. They're really, really big. And you'll see them in water, and there'll be a distance, and you'll be, oh, they're big, and then they get closer, and you go, oh, they're really big.
Dr. Roger Payne, who's one of the first biologists to begin studying whale social biology, talks of this phenomena called the 10-foot barrier, and that people love seeing whales in the water, but when they come up to about 10 feet, it's too overwhelming. There's just something about their presence that's so overwhelming.
When you're in the water with the whales, do they actually come up and brush against you or touch you?
I was watching a smaller whale in front of me, and I felt a gentle touch on my back. And I turned to look, and I was eye to eye with a 50-ton female humpback whale who was behind me. She's bigger than a school bus, and she extended her 15-foot pectoral fin, which is like your arm, to reach out and touch me and let me know that she was behind me, and that I ended up accidentally between her and her calf. I was just floating, and they swam around me, and the calf swam in front of me, so I was in between them. And that's when I was so struck. I was so close to a whale's eye, less than 10 feet. I was so close to her, and her expression in her eye was so calm and mindful. She was no longer a whale to me. She was simply conscious and very aware. It was a life-changing moment and led to all the work I do now.
And what are some of the other touching stories or experiences that you've had?
I got in the water to photograph a mother calf, and I was photographing the mother below me. She was about 10 feet below me. She was looking up at me, and as she was looking up at me, her eye kind of widened, and I noticed that, and then as that happened, I felt a presence on my back. I was floating at the surface, and her calf swam up right behind me and rested his head on my back, and he gently brought his pectoral fin around my body and held me. He wrapped it around me, and we just floated together, motionless, while I breathed through my snorkel, and he was breathing through his blowhole. And I didn't want to move. I didn't want to startle him, because there is a chance it could hurt you accidentally. They're so big and powerful. And my friend, my assistant, was in the water with me, and she gently pulled me aside, and that was one of those bizarre timing of events that just stays with me to this day.
When we return, Bryant Austin will discuss whale protection and preservation. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.